Hello everyone. Today we are going to have a look at the topic criteria for teacher evaluation. Let's try to understand what's the meaning of evaluation. It's the process of determining the value, that is the quality of something. If you buy a product from the shop, are we buying it just like that? No. For example, we buy a chair. We try to find the quality of the material used, the color, the size, the rate. So many parameters, so many variables are involved in buying just a chair. Likewise, when an institution is started, a school is started, are they going to assign teachers just like that? Definitely not, because the teachers are the deciders, the building blocks of the future of the kids of our nation. So definitely any teacher they allot is going to be evaluated from time to time. Their performance is going to be assessed, is going to be analyzed, is going to be rated from time to time. How does this help? Well, in this case, it improves the performance of the teacher as well as it helps improve the performance of the kid as well. When the teachers who are allotted are very good, definitely they'll make sure that the kids are very good, and this way it helps improve the knowledge base of the kids as well, making sure that our nation has a very good future. Also, it is a dynamic process, which means it's a continuous process. It's not like you evaluate the teacher once and then just let them be as such for the next 10 years. Because that's not going to be great. Only when they are evaluated from time to time, they'll keep updating themselves with the recent technologies and the recent news and the recent developments in the particular field or the particular subject. Hence, it's a continuous process or a dynamic process. Evaluation makes sure that a teacher is assessed whether he is a very great teacher or an average teacher who has to work on himself. Let's go through the principles which help making this evaluation better and achieve its goal. The first step could be classroom evaluation or observation. Hence, this is the reason when a teacher comes for an interview, the first step what is done is the principal or a senior teacher goes to the class and along with the teacher, they ask the teacher to give a demo, right? When they give a demo, the principal or the senior teacher evaluates, observes and judges the teachers based on how they are teaching. And here, what they're considering is the subjects the teacher can teach, the range, whether they can teach only to the primary kids or to the secondary as well, or they're flexible enough to teach every kind of student, and how many kids can they focus on. Also, the pedagogical skills. Whenever a teacher is a teacher who's a fresher is assigned, they make sure that their pedagogical skills are good, and they're also given training in some schools to enhance their skills, to make them better at what they're already good. The next principle could be the professional development. So here the factors such as how much experience they've got and how many degrees they've got, are they a bachelor or a master at their particular subject, and how much they are collaborating with their colleagues, which means are they earnest enough to learn from their day-to-day from the surroundings every day, or are they stagnant? All these things matter. Accountability, which means that are they responsible enough? Do they seem to take responsibility of how the results are coming? Some teachers might not take teaching seriously, which is not a good sign. So the sign of a good teacher is responsibility, accountability towards the students, towards the management, towards owning up their actions, and that helps them build trust. And also, they should be able to prepare programs, they should be able to participate in programs so that there's an improvement in the performance. Expectations for student achievement. So basically, a teacher evaluation includes following a specific curriculum, teaching from the syllabus assigned to them, and they should not just focus on one or two students or the only toppers of a class. They should focus on every individual. Teaching a topper is not great, but more than that, because toppers are, of course, they can handle themselves. They are attuned to learning properly. They're attuned to focus properly. But teaching a slow learner, a late bloomer, is an achievement in itself. So the right parameter of assessing a teacher is on how focused they are on every individual's achievement. They should make sure that the toppers remain topper and the slow bloomers also become a topper. Adaptability. Now, the traditional learning techniques were different. Earlier there were gurukuls, then slowly we had classrooms, benches, and now we are having virtual classrooms where online teaching is a great opportunity for learning. Now, teachers who do not know to operate a computer very effectively, they should learn to adjust and learn the newer skills involved in the recent learning era. So how adaptable a teacher is, that's what decides how good they're going to be at their subject even after years and years. So there are certain teaching methods which you could see here, like flipped learning, kinesthetic learning, game-based learning, student-centered and teacher-centered learning. Well, flipped learning is a methodology that ensures very much of active learning. Here what happens is the teacher provides the students with lecture materials and presentations. The students can go through these materials at home and work through it at school. So this makes sure that before the teacher teaches a topic, they have gone through the lecture notes and then they're coming for a discussion with the teacher. The next kind is kinesthetic learning. This is quite an interesting method because it involves multi-sensory learning techniques. It involves auditory techniques, visual techniques, touching an object and working with it. This is based on the principle that deep learning occurs only through the process of doing. For example, when a child learns to swing or when a child learns to ride a bike, it remembers it much better. The retention is more better because all its sense organs are involved in it. So kinesthetic learning is one of the best techniques to teach kids who are in KG, pre-KG or primary. The next one is game-based learning. This is again a way which involves learning, engagement and productivity, which means the kid is going to be more and more engaged rather than getting distracted. He'll develop a passion for learning. Here, gaming techniques are incorporated in the training strategy. For example, assessing with a Kahoot. Likewise, the student-centered and teacher-centered learning, which we are already familiar with. Another factor which ensures proper evaluation is organization. Here, the teacher must make sure that he has a proper lesson plan, which makes sure that the kids are learning actively and not just taking it as something very boring. The next point to consider here is a teacher should make sure that he doesn't teach too fast, because every kid is different. There are kids who learn and understand when taught once. But there are kids who have to be taught thrice or four times. Only then they could comprehend the topic very well. So every kid has his own pace. And based on that, the teacher should have lesson plans. Based on that, the teacher should explain the topic, understanding everyone's need. It should not be too fast or too slow. Because slow teaching is again boring and unbearable. At the same time, the teacher should make sure that the syllabus is completed within the given time period. Now, learning or teaching is not a one-way process. It goes two-way. Just by explaining a lecture, it doesn't mean that the teacher has taught. They need to check whether the kid has understood it or not. Asking questions. Make sure that the kid is actively participated in the learning process. So it has to be a two-way model. And again, a teacher should encourage the kids to answer rather than, taunt them. They should make sure that the kid happily answers. And if the kid does not know, they could just encourage them that it's fine. You could do it better the next time. This makes sure that the kid is confident enough in answering the questions rather than being afraid of, getting up and answering the teacher. Student feedback. It's good to know what the kid thinks about your teaching, which makes sure that the teacher improves his way of communicating and explaining things. Hence, student feedback is a very essential factor. The teacher should ensure that the classroom environment is cordial and friendly enough so that everyone's involved in a discussion rather than some people being active and the others being passive. Hence, the teacher should be quite supportive enough. This way, when everyone's engaged in discussion, they'll be more passionate in understanding the topic. They'll try to do more research in trying to present more arguments in a discussion. And this way, they'll excel at this subject without having to take it as a regular thing. They'll make sure that they are the best at it. Hence, a classroom environment makes sure that the kid is interested in the subject. Assessment data. So, we have report cards at school, which actually show us the performance level of a kid in every class. So when we need to assess how the teacher is teaching, we take the assessment data of a lot of years and compare it to see how good the teacher has made them, how much the teacher has helped them improved. A teacher should not be like just a robot to just say whatever's there in the book. Rather than the teacher should make sure that it reaches every kid. It reaches the kid who has low self-esteem. It reaches the kid who has high self-esteem. And that involves knowledge of psychology. The teacher should know to handle a kid who is nervous to attend his exams, to encourage them, to just make sure that they look forward to come to school every day rather than being afraid and sitting at home. Hence, a teacher has to be very cordial, friendly, patient, and affectionate towards the kid. So here there are, a teacher could actually encourage them by giving them very goods on their notebook, by giving them marks for the projects they've done. And these are ways in which a kid would love to come to school every single day. Hence, teaching is not just a one-way process, as we've seen. It involves both the teacher and student involvement. It involves identification of the issues and gaps in teaching and improving oneself every single day. This makes sure that the school is also becoming, a most valued one. Hence, this way, teachers are encouraged to perform well and the students are also encouraged to perform well. It's a win-win process.